Cashflow Calculations. When investing in property, cash flow is absolutely crucial to your portfolio and to the health of the portfolio long term. But it's interesting to ask actually, what are the breakdowns of the cash flow numbers? What do the calculations actually mean? How do you calculate the cash flow on a property? So let's look at step 1 and then step 2. So step 1 is the incomings, what you earn from the property. Number 1 being the yield. Step 2 is what's the cost. So examples of some costs are rates, water, landlord insurance, the mortgage. Simply put, rounding it together as outgoings plus mortgage. In some scenarios, there's tax as well in terms of land tax, depending on your situation, but let's just simplify it to 2 things. Step 1 being income, the rent coming in, and step 2 being the outgoings and mortgage. So you may have seen, social media posts or different things where people are promoting how much cash flow is coming from their property portfolio. Now, what it's actually important to understand is that when people calculate cash flow, majority, even including myself, look at it from an interest-only perspective. Now, why is that an important thing to consider? Because 2 things. Number 1 is at the end of the interest-only term, the cash flow may not be the same. So that's something to consider in terms of buffers to keep, or if interest only is re-going, or if you decide to just start paying down the mortgage. Number 2 is when you're looking at the interest only component, if you have a property that's positive cash flow, what will occur is your income should be enough to pay outgoings plus the interest on a mortgage. Anything left over is how much positive cash flow you are. Now you can do that, you can do 2 things with the positive cash flow. 1, either use it to earn in terms of an income that's coming from your property, or 2, use that to pay the principal on your loan. Now, I actually did a recent survey and asked if you had a property where the income was higher than outgoings and higher than interest, if you were paying the principal back, would you consider that paying yourself or paying the bank? Now, I was unsure if people would see this as a trick scenario or maybe, hey, what does that mean? You're always paying the bank. And I was interested to see the responses. 80-20 was the actual split. 80% of the people said that, well, Arjun, I consider that as paying you because when you're paying the principal, you're reducing your debt. And 20% of the people said paying the bank because you're actually physically paying the bank. So that's an important thing to consider when you're looking at positive cash flow and calculating cash flow. Income, outgoings and mortgage, basing it off the interest portion, and anything left over is the positive cash flow that you can do one of 2 things. Pay down the principal or earn it as an income. That's it from us here at InvestorKit, the experts in wealth creation, helping you take action.